So
Okay, so as you probably know, this is the login screen for the learning management system, and any user can log in through this screen. There is another login screen that is the admin screen. So any users that try to log into this screen that do not have admin rights are going to have an error, but any users can log into the screen. And
so Absorb,
I'm sorry?
Absorb is for the admins only.
Yeah, technically they're both absorbed, but one is going to be for admins only. And the way you can see the difference there is admin is going to be in the address. So it's going to be martech.myabsorb/admin.
Oh, okay.
And so if you forget your password, or if a user forgets their password, they can click on this forgot password link, enter their username or email address, and that information is going to be the same. And the same goes for the admin page. If you forgot your password, you can click this link and it'll ask for the same information.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Actually, let me log out and log in as a demo user. Okay, so this is the welcome page for the learning management system that we have set up for Bensky, and this information can be edited. So, for example, if you want a different main graphic here, or on any of the other pages, if you want to change out these graphics, I can do that. You just have to send me the content that you, or the picture that you would want to replace it with. And it needs to be a higher resolution graphic. So obviously something that is going to be pretty wide. If it's a small graphic that's probably about the size of this right here, then if we stretch it to fit this width, it's going to look really poor and pixelated.
You have the dimensions that it should be?
Yeah, I can send you the dimensions.
Okay. I'm writing down notes as you go as well, so I can remember better.
Okay. Let me make a note. Okay, so this page is pretty blank. Usually what you'll see, if training has been assigned to a user, they're going to see that training across the top here. And I'll show you that on the admin side, how to assign training to a user. But just walking through some of the details on this page, this is a search tool. Right now, none of the courses are set to self-enrollment. So in order for a user to be able to search for training, it has to be set for self-enrollment. That is something that I can change the courses where users can self-enroll, but whenever you start creating training such as curriculum or any training you create in the system, you can set that for self-enrollment, and users will be able to search for that training. And courses that are set for self-enrollment will also show up on the catalog row of training on the welcome page. So there will be a few rows. Let me log out and log in as another user so I can show you what I'm referring to. So my courses are going to be courses that have been assigned to a user, and or a user has enrolled into that training themselves. It'll show up on their courses. Resume courses will have courses the user has started but not finished. And then catalog is going to display courses that are available for self-enrollment.
Okay.
And so if you see a start link or a re-enroll link or an enroll link, that means that the course has not been started. And if you click start, then it will take you into the course details, and click start again, and it will open the course.
Okay.
I'm going to log back into the demo account. So a few ways the users can manage their information. They can click edit profile, and this has their information that's available for them to update. So they could select a certain division, enter a job title, enter their address, and they can save that information. Information they cannot edit would be their first and last name, username, and email. Those are vital pieces of information that are required in the system, and only administrators can edit that information. If a user wants to change their password, they can click on the profile link on the top, and it'll take them to also another profile page. And if they click change password, it will prompt them to enter their current password and then their new password.
Okay.
Any messages that are sent in the system will be under this mailbox tab. And then the menu, the dashboard is going to take you back to the welcome page. And My Courses is going to display courses that have been assigned. Catalog, it's going to list courses that are available for self-enrollment. Resources or any type of documents that you send out to users, such as PDFs or PowerPoints. A calendar is going to display information such as due dates. So if you assign a training to a user and it has a due date, then that due date will appear on their calendar. Also, if you're utilizing instructor-led training, then those dates will also appear on the calendar.
Okay, cool.
And transcript is going to be any training that has been completed by the user. And they have the option to print their transcript. So any questions about the user side so far?
No, it seems pretty simple.
Okay. And to get to the admin area, you click on the admin tab from the drop-down. So you can click on admin from the menu, or you can log in through the admin panel. But if you're already logged into the user side, all you have to do is simply go to the menu and click on admin. And the same goes for the menu on the admin side. If you click on learner side, it will take you back to the learner side. And we have this option as well. So if you click that, it'll take you back to the learner side and admin. So this is the admin area for the learning management system. This is the dashboard. And have you seen this part yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. So on the dashboard, there are a few panels that are available. There's overview, learners, and courses. All of these are static. They're not, we're not able to customize these or change them out to any specific preferences. They're just pretty standard in the system. So this is going to show how many learners are in the system. This will display your top 5 learners over the last 30 days, 10 most recent completions. So this will be a lot fancier once you have users that are in the system and completing training. And the same with courses. These are new courses created, so we have all your courses in the system. And again, this information will populate once you have users in the system completing training. Saved reports. I'm going to show you how to save a custom report, or not a custom report, but how to save a report, customize a report, and save it So whenever you come to this page, your favorite reports will be listed. You just click that report and it'll take you directly to that page.
Okay.
On the left are going to be our main functions. They're organized by courses, users, and reports. Courses is where we'll manage everything that is that relates to learning. Of course, users is going to be everything that relates to users, and reports is going to be all your reports. So if we click courses first and click the courses link, this is going to list all of your courses that are in the system. And this is 568. There are 568 items. And whenever you come to this page, let me delete this layout. This is going to be the layout that you'll see whenever you come to the courses page. So
okay.
One thing I want to point out is that whenever you go to any of the pages, be it user page, learner activity page, these are all report layouts. So essentially what you're looking at on the reports tab, are all these pages are going to have a report layout. And the users, this is essentially a user report, and the courses is basically a course report. And the nice thing about Absorb is that the information is going to be managed the same way. So you're not going to have to learn how to manage content on the courses page or the user page. So how do we manage content on these pages? We can, using this area right here, we can add columns to this report that we want to see. So if we want to see if a course is going to allow self-enrollment, we can add that column. We can see what other items we have. If there's any due date associated with the training.
So like basically different filters of what I would want to see.
Well, these are, it's just adding content. To filter content, actually, let me show you how to save this report. So if you have a layout that you like, you can click this icon for Save Layouts and click Create New. Call this My Bensky Courses, Create New. And so now I will have this option whenever I come to this page, I can select this report. If I want this report to be the default, I click the star. And so now, anytime I come to this page, this is going to be my default layout. And if I go to the dashboard overview, now My Bensky Courses is in my Save Reports. I click on that and it'll take me directly to this page. So you asked about filtering. All this information can be filtered. And that's what this little filter icon is. So for example, if I click the filter icon, it's going to, it's kind of a smart filter. So it's going to only add or give you options that are specific to that column. So for example, this is the course name column. Let's say I want to find all the courses that have 101 in the title. So all of your courses are going to start with BSM. That's just an identifier that we have in the system so we can tell who each of the courses is for.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I left it at Start With and click Add Filter, nothing's going to come up because all of your courses start with BSM. So we have to change this to Contains. Click Update Filter. And now all the courses that have 101 in the title are displayed. And it looks like this has a due date of 3/13. I should be able to edit this. Are you logged into this page? Do you know if you can edit this?
Talking to me?
Yes, sir.
I have to log in. I just have your screen pulled up right now.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at it later.
I see a record button on my side. Should I hit that a long time ago, or you're recording it?
Oh no, I'm recording it.
Okay, okay.
Let me look at a setting here. Okay, I have editors. Each of you has editors, so that's going to limit who can edit this. So if I deleted this, this is still going to have department visibility for administrators. Department visibility means that any administrators that are in that department can edit that training. So I'm going to save this. Back to the courses page. Now I have the ability to edit this training. So yeah, I'm not sure how that one course got edited like that. Okay, so this is the course information page, and this is going to look differently for each of the different types of courses. And so going back to the courses page, just to review some of the types of courses that we have that I'm going to review in the training today. Online courses. If you're interested in instructor-led courses, we can review that at a later time. We won't have time to cover that today. But if you decide that you're going to be managing instructor-led training, then we can have another training for that.
Okay.
Course bundle and curriculum, those are two items that I want to cover as well. So first what we'll cover is online courses. And if I click the edit button, this is going to display all the information specific to the course. Syllabus, do not edit any of the information on the syllabus page for the MARTech courses. If you edit this information, it could break the course.
Not edit syllabus.
Right. The availability, this is where we will define who can self-enroll for this course. So for example, if we wanted users to be able to self-enroll for this course, we click self-enroll and click department, and Bensky will show up as the default department. And we'll see that this will affect 85 users. And so this is going to allow self-enrollment for all users in Bensky department, and that will be 85 users.
Okay.
For automatic enrollment, this is going to mean that any users in the system are going to automatically be enrolled for this training. And I believe all your users have the health and safety courses. So, and as administrators, you have access to all the courses. I would encourage you to not enroll any of your users into the other training since they're not in contract.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that would work. And you have access to all the courses, but your users do not. So you want to make sure that when you're assigning training, you're only making the safety courses available.
Okay.
And so this is a due date, and the due date had been set. I'm not sure how it had been set. I'm thinking somebody else probably got in here and was playing around with some of these things. Due date, if you're going to set a due date for something, I recommend setting that at the curriculum level, not at the course level, because this is your only instance of this course. And if you place a due date with that, then it's going to affect all users in the system that have that training assigned. So,
so set due date by what?
set due date and associate it with the curriculum. So if you're going to assign training to a user, put that training inside a curriculum and then associate a due date with that. I don't recommend associating a due date with an individual course.
Okay.
Completion. This is going to, I think somebody was playing with this. So Steve may have been exploring.
Yeah, we've been in it one time and we were trying it out, but that was it.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, we were trying to like enroll ourselves in classes. That was just one time. I don't know what else we did.
Okay. Well, we can associate a certificate with training. If you want to associate a certificate with the individual courses, that's something I can do on the back end. I have a batch process with a lot of this stuff. So rather than going through and making these changes to 90+ courses, if you let me know what you want to do, I can probably do it all at one time.
Okay.
But a certificate is something that we can turn on for a course or a curriculum or any piece of training. If we activate a certificate, we have to choose a certificate to associate with that certificate. So if we click choose file, it's going to open up our file manager and our certificates will be listed under the certificate tab. And there are several different types of certificates. And this is based upon the type of training that is in the system. So for example, this is an online course. In an online course, we are going to have a score associated with this training. So we have a couple of certificates in here. One, no expiry with score, and with expiry with score. So if this training is going to occur one time, so if it's going to be a one-time certificate, then you would choose no expiry with score.
Right. Okay.
If it's going to be recurring, let's say every year the user is going to have to retake this training, then we would choose with expiry with score.
So they can take it again. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so it's going to show the expiration date on their certificate when they print it out. And then if you're going to associate this with a curriculum's not going to have a score because the individual courses within the curriculum will have that score.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose a with expiry with score. Select this file. I do want to stress I'm doing this to the individual course, and I just said do not do this to the individual course. This is something that I would associate with if you're going to have an expiration or due date, I recommend associating that with the curriculum.
Okay.
So this does have an expiration, and right now I have no expiry. So since we specified that it is going to expire with the certificate, we want to choose, let's say this is 1 year. So 1 year after they complete it, it's going to expire. And then we can say that a user is going to be re-enrolled into this training 1 month before it expires, and they'll automatically be re-enrolled.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
And then we also want to, if we're going to be using certificates, we want to turn emails on. So we want an enrollment and a completion, and we can also do a nudge email. And we'll say the nudge will do like every 7 days, and we'll give 2 nudges. So what this is going to do, whenever the user is enrolled into this training, they'll receive an email, and it will notify them. Then whenever they complete the training, they'll receive another email. So 11 months or 1 month before they expire, whenever they receive this new enrollment, they're going to receive another email. And this nudge email is going to send an email out every 7 days to remind them they have this training until they complete it. And this is going to send 2 nudges. So after 2 nudges, it's going to stop. So you can set this to 20. So it would send 20 nudges, and we can set this to every 3 days. So you can set this however you want.
Okay.
Under customization, use custom template, this is going to open up the format of the email. So you can edit what this email is going to say, and you can send a copy to the administrators, so that whenever this email is sent out to your user, this enrollment email, a copy will be sent to the administrator.
Nice.
Supervisor is something that has to be set on the user level. So if you select supervisor, you want to make sure your users, the supervisor information is set up for your users. And that's something that I'll show you when we get to the user information. Resources is going to be any type of attachment. So if, for example, you have a curriculum, you're building a curriculum, we might call this like new employee safety training, and you want to add some type of safety document to this, you can click add resource. We'll call this safety handbook, and then we'll choose a file, upload a file, and we may say you can add a PDF or Word document, and then it would attach that.
Cool.
So I'm going to undo all this stuff since this is an online course, and I don't want to set this information for the online courses. Allow re-enrollment will allow a user to retake the training as soon as they finish it. So right now we have this set to 0 years, 0 months, and 0 days. That means as soon as a user completes a piece of training, they can re-enroll themselves in that training. If you want to place any limitation on that, so for example, if you want a user to not be able to re-enroll for the training until a month after they complete it, then we change this and then have them re-enroll automatically. If we do not set re-enroll automatically, then this will just have an option. This will have a link for the user, and it'll say re-enroll. And once they click that, then it will re-enroll them into the training. And like I said, this is something, if you decide you want to implement this, just let me know and I can do it on a system level.
Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to just, spend some time on here a lot and get familiarized.
Yeah.
But it seems pretty good so far.
Remove this due date. So I want to show you a course bundle. Course bundle is, I don't have a lot of users that use this, and this is just for the purposes of bundling training. So if we call this personal, actually going to do fire safety. We'll call this training fire safety, and we'll select our courses and click add courses. And
that's nice.
if I type in the keyword fire, then all of the courses that have fire in the title are going to show up.
Nice.
click continue, and we set availability. Let's say that I want all the users that are in Department Snyder-Binsky to be able to self-enroll in this. And messaging, send email notification. Whenever a user enrolls in this, it's going to send them an email. We can turn that off if we want. The reason why we have emails turned off at the individual course level is if you create a certification and it has 20, or a curriculum and it has 20 courses in it, then when you assign that to the user, if there's 20 courses that have emails turned on, they're going to receive 20 emails. So we have emails turned off at the individual course level.
Okay.
So if I save this, since the availability is set for self-enrollment, I'm going to go ahead and save. Then if I come over to the user tab or the learner side, now I have a piece of training in the catalog that this user can enroll into.
Nice, yeah.
So I'm going to delete that. And I want to look at my course bundles. Under type, I'm going to select course bundle, add filter. There's my course bundle I just created. I'm going to delete that. I don't want to muddy your system. So next I want to view curriculum. If you're going to assign a group of training to users, then I recommend creating a curriculum. You have a lot more features that are available. And I'm going to call this tool safety. And you can choose a thumbnail if you want. Our safety courses are going, or the tool courses are going to be in the 200s. So I'm just going to choose this 20504. Actually, that's a clutch. So there's a small thumbnail and there's a larger thumbnail. And so I recommend using both of those. You can add tags if you want. So hand tools, category. We have Binsky Snyder. I recommend choosing Binsky Snyder for that. Courses, this is where we'll build the training. So we can set different groups, and groups are going to be how we'll organize training within the curriculum. So for the first group, I'm going to call this Basic Safety. And the second group, I'm going to call this Tools. And I'm going to add some safety courses. If you come down to Binsky Snyder and click this down arrow, it's going to list all the courses that are available. I'm going to select that. And then Tool Safety, I want to select tool safety courses only within the 100s. So we'll
You can't just search it on top, or it'll bring up every.
Yeah, you can. So if I search tools, then we'll choose these. I can't select the 200s because they're not they're not in contract for your users or licensed for your users.
We only have the 100s, right?
Right. Exactly. So so I have two sections, or I have two groups within the curriculum. If I click Pace Progress, this is going to force users to complete all the training in the first group before they can complete training in the second group. And if I want to set a minimum number of courses, then I can change this to, for example, 2, and then a user only has to complete 2 of these courses before they can proceed to the next group.
Okay, I like that. There's different a lot of options.
Mm-hmm. Availability, allow self-enrollment. Set this as at the department level. And one thing that is very important for department visibility, you want to make sure that Bensky Snyder is selected. If you do not select this, then other administrators and other departments within the system will be able to view this training. So you do want to select this department visibility, and I think it was set by default.
Okay.
Completion, again, this is going to be where you'll select a certificate. Messages are turned on by default. And so you can turn those off or leave them on. And that way, whenever you assign it, the user will receive an email. And then all you have to do is save. And so this training will be available for self-enrollment. So I'm going to go ahead and enroll in this training and start it. So you'll see what this will look like for the users. This is going to have the first group, and you'll see that the second group is kind of shaded out where I can't enroll into that. But if I click enroll and then start, it's going to start this training. Then I have resume. Resume means that I've started it, but I have not completed it. If I click the back arrow, it'll take me back to the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have a row of courses to resume since I have not completed this training. And the more training that a user is assigned into, the more it's going to fill up across this page.
Okay.
So how to assign training to users. Let's go back to the admin side. There's a couple of different ways to assign training to users. Training can be assigned from the Courses tab, and it can also be assigned from the User tab. So let's say, for example, I want to assign this training to users. I select all the training. If you want to view all your training, I recommend going to the bottom and selecting 1000. And that's going to allow all of your training to appear on one page. So you can scroll down.
So do we have the two?
Go ahead.
Do we have the 200s or no?
Well, as administrators, you do have access to the 200s, but your end users do not.
Okay. We only have
and that's one thing that is going to be kind of hard. It might be difficult to manage because you do have access to these courses. You can assign them to yourselves, but you're going to have to use discretion and make sure you don't assign any of these to your other users, because you do have them available. So
what do the users have? They have one through what? 100 and what?
1 through 160. 160.07.
160-07. Okay. Okay.
So if you select all the courses that you want to assign, and you'll see you have an enroll users option over here. So click enroll users, and then you can select your users that you want to. You can start typing a name.
Nice.
And then click enroll, and that will enroll that training for your users. So the way we do that from the user tab, if we click on users and select users, and then we select the users we want to enroll into training. And again, if you want to view all your users, check this. It's always going to be 20 as a default, and it's not going to let you select users on one page and then click to the next tab. It's not going to save that selection you made on the previous page. So you want to view all of these, and you can set this, you can save this as a report.
So I can save those guys for like an individual team, and if they only work at one place, I can assign them training for that place, like that kind of.
We'd probably want to set a group because it's not going to maintain the selection that you make. But for example, if let me go back to the user page, let me view the individual users. If we edit the user information, there are certain details that we can add. And again, this is something that I can bulk update on the back end. So if you want to add a job title, if you want to add a certain division, position, or department, then we can edit this information. If you want to add a sub-department, and this is something that I can help you with. So if we're looking at departments and you want to add a new department, what was that department you mentioned?
It was going to be, so it'll be like residential guys. So it'll be like
for
a whole department. Go ahead.
So if we call this, I would call it Binsky.
Right.
Binsky Residential or Binsky Snyder Residential. This is going to be apparent under Binsky Snyder. And save. So now we have this other department. If we go back to our user tab, and then we select the users that we want to include in that department, we can click Change Department, choose the department that we want to move those users into, and click Accept, and it'll move those users into that new department. So I'm not going to save that. But back to enrolling users from this page, if we select the users we want to enroll in the training, and then click Enroll Users, then we'll have a course option. So we can select the courses that we want to enroll. So if you're going to look under the training that is within the Binsky Snyder group, I want to stress, do not check this checkbox. If you check this checkbox, it's going to select every piece of training under this group, which is over 500. And depending on the power of your PC, it could freeze up your PC. So if you click this down arrow, you can select the individual courses you want to assign to the user.
Does shift and down work on that? Like, so
I don't believe so.
I want to select. Okay, all right.
You can also search for keyword.
Okay. Cool.
So looking at some of the information that you can edit for the users, I click Edit User. This is where you would update the user's password yourself. So there's a couple of different options. The first option, you can set the temporary password for the user and click Save. You'll have to let the user know their password has been changed.
Okay.
So if you want to set, sorry, say again.
So if basically I would make a generic one for everyone and tell them to change it after they log in.
Well, everyone is going to have a generic email already set or password already set, but if a user comes to you and says, hey, can you reset my password, this would
Oh,
be
okay.
how you would reset it.
Okay.
That would be the hard way. The easy way, if I click cancel here, if you select a user and you can select several users, there's a reset password link over here. If you click the reset password link, this is going to email this password reset email. So
Okay.
a user will have this password link, they click on that, and the link will expire after 24 hours.
Okay.
We also have the option of send new user message. And this will send the user their login information. It'll have a set password link, and you can change the format of this email. So if you want to change your name or something else, it's set to my name and my contact information.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to change all that.
So this is a link to the LMS. You can leave it set to me if you want. I'm here to support all clients, so
Oh,
you can
okay,
certainly
cool.
change that to yourself. But if you want to change this to yourself, rather than company name and company email, you'll have to manually put in your email.
Right.
So you get the point.
Right. Yeah. And it would be like I would have to do that every time, or it'd be set like a signature.
You would have to do it every time, because it's going to default to the default email. So whenever you're ready to communicate to your users that they're ready to go in the system, my recommendation is to just select this page. You want to make sure that you have all your users selected, so you'll have to select this higher items per page. Select all your users, then click the reset password link or the button and send new user message. So this is going to send out the new user information, so your users will be informed that they can log into the learning management system and start their training.
All right. Do you recommend like I bring these guys in and train them on how to, I guess, use it? Use the system first?
It's pretty simple. You can certainly do that, or maybe type an email. Let me see if I have something. I do have a document that I'll forward to you, and you can see if you want to send that to your users.
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely.
Okay, so looking again at the users, if you want to create a group, you can select your users that you want to put into a special group and click Create Group.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I highly recommend specifying or putting something special in this, such as BSM or Bensky, because once we create this group, this is going to go into a system-wide poll. And so if I cancel out of this and we go to unselect these users, if we go over here and look at groups, you'll see that there's an entire pool of groups within the system. So if I click this and click View Users, you're not going to be able to view the users because those aren't users that are in your system. But my point is that all the group names are going to be in one pool.
Right,
so,
I got you.
So you want to set something that sets yourself apart. So if you set, for example, you try to see one that's not going to be like extra attendees. That's pretty vague. Or e-commerce reports. those are pretty vague.
Yeah.
The ATX admins, that's probably better, because that's that's going to be whatever company ATX is. Well, say, okay, that's not mine.
Most likely, I'll probably just put them by their local numbers, or I'll put like what they're actually called. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll make it descriptive, so I'll know if it's them or not.
Yeah, and the reason why groups would be nice, or you don't have to create a department. So if let me go back to my curriculum that I created. Let me create a filter for curriculum. Edit the curriculum. I can set the availability. I can set this to a group, so I can find my group that I created, and now that training is going to be specific just to that group.
Nice.
So I'm going to delete this. So we have a few more minutes. I do want to cover, just kind of introduce you to the reports. So if you want to look at the enrollments for a user, you can select a user, click View Enrollments. View Enrollments is going to be better than User Transcript. User Transcript is going to pretty much show you what they're going to see if they went to their transcript page. View Enrollments is going to be the better report tool, and I'm actually going to log out and log into the system that has more information, so you get the gist of what I'm trying to show you. So if I select this user, click View Enrollments, it's going to show me all the training the user is enrolled into, and show the different statuses of their training, like this is not started, this is in progress. So a little bit about the statuses. Not started obviously means the training has not been started by the user. In progress means that the user has started the training, but they have not completed it. And then it would move into a completed status once they've completed the training. I'm trying to find a better demo. So about the reports, you're not going to really have any information in the system to report on until your users are actually in the system completing training. So this is going to show learner activity. And for example, this user has 16 enrollments, and they've started 14 courses and completed 14 courses. I can click on this user, click View Enrollments, and it'll show information. It'll show their scores on what they've completed. And if I want to edit an enrollment, I can click on this course, click Edit Enrollment, and it'll take me to their profile page, and I can look and see this training information. They took the course one time, they spent 24 minutes in it and scored a 92. So if there's a user that is, if I want to give them credit for training, I can click on that training, click Edit Enrollment. I can mark them complete. I can give them a score, and so pretty much get the gist of this. So this will allow you to edit enrollment for a user.
Okay. Okay.
In progress. Yeah, these are, you'll just have to familiarize yourself with these whenever you get, whenever your users are in the system. If you want to look at progress for a specific course, then you can select that specific course. And you can also use your filters. So if you want to filter out users that, let's say I don't want to see or if I want to see only the users that are in progress, I can add the filter. Now it's only going to show users that are in progress for this training.
Nice. Okay.
And curricula activity, this is going to be specific to curricula that are in the system. So you can select a curricula name, update filter, and it will display the information, your user information enrolled in that curriculum.
Okay.
So any questions that you have so far?
No, it's pretty straightforward. It seems like the only thing is that you don't want me to do is do not edit the syllabus. And
right, for the individual online courses, you wouldn't want to edit the syllabus.
You said for the individual?
Yeah, so for the MarTech courses, so if, for example, like 10101, if I go back to your system, go to courses. Yeah, any of these courses, any of the MarTech courses, you wouldn't want to edit the syllabus.
Okay.
If you, there is a way to create an online course. So if you create an online course yourself, then you would have to edit the syllabus on that. So if I click Add Learning Object, some of the learning objects you can create if you want to upload a video, a task, and these are certain things that we would have to cover in another training. Assessment would allow you to build a test yourself, and you could assign that test to your users. So
nice.
you would create that, and we'd have more information that we'd have to fill in. So you would obviously need to edit the syllabus on these courses, but any of the MarTech courses, so for example, if I go in here and I edit the syllabus, this is the training content for the MarTech course. So this has a link to the course on the server. So if any of this breaks, then the course is going to break.
And there's no way our guys can access that. There's only the admins, right?
Right, only the admins.
Okay, cool. All right, so I get what you're saying. No, it's pretty straightforward. I'm definitely gonna have to get more just play with it and just get more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and please let me know if you have any questions about anything. Don't feel like this is a one and done training.
Oh,
I'm here to support you, and if you have any questions about anything, please email me or call me. Email might be the best option.
okay.
I receive emails whenever I'm out of the office. We're in the process of changing over our phone system, so I will have a computer-based phone rather than a landline phone. Hopefully in the next few months. That's been sort of postponed with all the chaos with this virus. But yeah, so please email me and let me know. We can always get on another training call. I will upload this training video for reference, and then I'm also available. And like I said, if you want to change any information in the system, I can do that via bulk. So just don't feel like you have to go through and change each individual course one by one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dusty. I appreciate your time, and yeah, you taught me a lot today.